Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another PlayStation review. Today I'm taking a look at Dead Age 2 on the PlayStation 5. Now Dead Age 2 is the sequel to Dead Age that I did cover and review on the channel about 4 years ago, I want to say. And the sequel really is... how best to describe it? I suppose it's a role-playing strategy game set in the zombie apocalypse, I suppose. I mean, it's clearly inspired by The Walking Dead. I mean, essentially the game starts, you are part of us. You get to kind of choose your character, customize them in a fairly basic way, choose your faction, and there's a number of factions that you could choose from, and each of them come with different bonuses, if you like, whether you want to kind of be like an independent faction or military or whatever. And then you start the game. And so you've got to basically scavenge and survive in a zombie apocalypse future. Now, each of the factions, depending on which one you choose, have all kind of got their own base of operations. And when you get to your base of operations, each part of your base has a section. So you've got like your defenses at the front. You have got like the bar where you kind of get missions from your comrades. There's like beds, so you can kind of increase the ability to rest and all that kind of stuff. You've got places you can make ammunition. You've got places you can build like a farm. You've got hunting cabins to build, and all of these things bring resources into your camp, because you're going to need a lot of resources to craft things that you're going to need, but also you're going to need a lot of medikits, you're going to need a lot of ammunition, you're going to need the ability to kind of build and upgrade your weapons. And then you kind of choose missions, and you kind of go out onto the map then and explore. Now, depending on what missions you've accepted, some of them are main missions, some of them are side missions, some of them are like quests that your comrades might give you in the game. So you will see them kind of marked on the map with like a yellow exclamation mark. And you can head straight to them if you want, but you've got to kind of slowly walk across the map. Some places will tell you that if you explore these areas, there's a good chance you'll get a certain amount of resources there, and it'll kind of say it might be like medical, so you might get medical supplies. There might be water. You're going to need water because each of your party consume 1 water a day. So you're going to keep needing to collect water. You're going to need food. You're going to need medikits, ammunition, bits of clothing to increase your armor. And then so you head there, and then when you get to these places, sometimes it might there might be an encounter, so there might be an opportunity for you to help somebody, or make a decision that might change the outcome of a certain thing, or you'll go straight onto that map area and you will have a number of battles, and these battles will consist of either battles with hordes of zombies, battles with wildlife, battles with humans like rival factions and gangs, and it's done on a turn-based basis. So you've got your party on the left-hand side, and there's generally 3 people in your party, but occasionally there will be others that join you. And you each have your action points. Again, if you've played turn-based strategy games, this will feel pretty familiar to you. So you've got your action points. You can, depending on what kind of character you've got, some of them you can build to be more melee based, so you can give them like blunt objects or sharp objects, and you can build their character to be really powerful at melee attacks if you want, or you can make characters ranged by giving them shotguns, rifles, pistols, that kind of stuff. And you've got like 2 rows. So on the front row you'll put like your melee characters, and on the back row you'll put your ranged characters, and that's essentially how it works. So you'll have some doing like attacks with machetes or swords or crowbars, and then you've got others like shooting with rifles and shotguns and so on and so forth. You've also got other things that you can do in these battles. You can take medikits if you need to. You can reload your weapons because they'll run out of ammunition. You've got like engineering, so you can throw Molotov cocktails if you need to, or you can put like little turrets up to assist you in battles. It's actually quite complex, the battles, and more fun than it actually might seem, because to be fair, the game, I mean, this game is not an expensive game, guys. You're going to pay less than £15 for this in the UK. I certainly did. So it's not a full price game, but it's a very, very ambitious game. I will absolutely give it that. It feels like they've definitely improved on the first game. I'll be honest, I don't remember an awful lot about the first game. I just kind of remember it was a little bit similar to this, just far more basic than this from what I remember. They've really kind of, I think, tried to add a lot of layers onto this. I think visually it looks okay for kind of the price point that we're looking at. It's quite a distinctive aesthetic to it. It's got all the sound effects you would expect, you know, with your weapons, your zombie groans, all that kind of stuff. But please note, there's no voice acting here. It's all text-based stuff. So you've got different environments that you'll go into. Some will be like out in woods or fields, or you'll be in city areas, garages, that kind of stuff. And the enemy variety is pretty decent too. You'll get like your zombies on the ground who've kind of been ripped in half. They'll crawl up to you. You've got other zombies that kind of attack you, like normal warrior zombies, if you like. Some that spit at you. You've got like zombie tanks that take a lot more killing. They might have bits of armor on them and that sort of thing. And they get more difficult the closer you kind of get to like the middle of the city, which is good, you know what I mean? Because it can initially feel a little bit too easy, this. But to be honest, I started this game initially on the casual. I always start games, regardless of what it is, on like the easiest level, so that I can learn the mechanics of the game, and then I'll kind of go back into it when I think I've figured it all out, and then increase the difficulty. Initially, the casual difficulty is arguably a little bit too easy for most, but it is a good way for you to get used to how to play the game. So you travel around the map, you'll pick up these resources, and then there's a number of bases scattered around the map. Most of them will welcome you in, and for you to kind of get what you need from these other military bases, they will ask you to do like favors for them, like side missions. So you kind of had to head out into the map and do side missions for these, and then you'll kind of increase your reputation with these other bases, and then you can kind of get special rewards from them and things like that. The missions they're either day based, and so you've got like, if you go out during the day to explore, you've got like 12 hours sort of thing. Obviously these are 12 game hours, not real hours. So every time you kind of make a move, it kind of knocks half an hour off sort of thing, so when you're moving around the map. And then at the end of the day, you kind of return to your base, and then you do a few bits on your base, you know, improve your base, upgrade your base, and then you'll sleep, and then it's then night time. And you can carry on improving your base if you want, but there's quite a few missions that you have to go out at night to complete. And the missions are a little bit more difficult at night. I've certainly found that to be the case. Not incredibly so. So you've got to kind of manage your resources, manage your team, upgrade them, because you can upgrade every aspect of your team members. You know, you can increase their health, you can increase their attacks ranged or melee. There's their defense. There's a whole different array of ways that you can kind of upgrade your team and make them and kind of build the squad that you kind of want to build. So what we have here, as I've said, I think is a really quite ambitious game. It's let down a little bit by the jankiness. It's a little bit slow here and there. Some of the screens loading take a long time to load in. It's definitely not optimized for PlayStation 4, but for the money you're going to pay for this, if you're into zombie games, if you like The Walking Dead, if you like strategy games, role-playing games, there's quite a decent game underneath the skin of this one, so I'm going to give it a fairly generous 7 out of 10. I've found it really entertaining, quite addictive gameplay loop, and have enjoyed my time with this game. So thanks for joining me for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.